Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to Taking Over the Photo Pit, a music photography podcast where I talk to badass concert photographers, and I am super excited. Today we are sitting here with Kaeyla, and I am gonna not do an intro where I blabber on forever about how incredibly talented she is, so we're just gonna hop right over to her and get to talking because I want to hear about her journey, how she got started, and all of the good juicy details. So hi Kaeyla, how are you today?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Kind of tired, but that's, the quarantine part of life right now.
You've got to go sit outside. That's the key to all of it, sitting outside.
I gotta do that today after this call. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Let's just dive into your intro. Tell me about who you are, where you're located, how you got started in photography, all of the good details.
Okay, so I'm Kaeyla. I'm based in Memphis, Tennessee. As far as how I got started in photography, I guess you could say it's been kind of two breaks. So of course, when I was young, I always had a digital camera. So I had a Nikon Coolpix, and then I had two Kodaks. Yeah, I had a purple Coolpix, and it was everything because I paid for it. And then I had two different Kodaks, which I don't even remember their names. But the second go round of this is when I actually guess I'll say I started officially. It happened during an internship in 2015. So I interned for the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy for events and programming. And then during that summer, I learned how to work the company's Canon T3i, which was pretty cool at the time because I didn't have my own DSLR. So using theirs was great. And then I just want to shout out to the auto function because I did not know what I was doing or how to. I didn't know how to do anything except that looks like a good moment, take the moment, move on to the next thing. And so I really just did what I was told when it came to photos that we needed. And then after the summer ended, I came back home to Memphis and finished college and everything. But I bought a Canon T5 on Black Friday just to learn more about photography. But also I had started organizing closets. So I needed cute photos to get more clients. So it was called Closet Clarity, and it was hilarious because I don't even do it anymore. But since that time, I've been photographing some of everything, and then that's kind of landed me into music photography, lifestyle photography. I really call it experiential photography simply because it's sometimes it's events, but sometimes it's really just about capturing the entire experience of what's happening. Be it kids running or people getting in line for a ride at a festival or whatever it is. So that's me.
Very cool. So what drew you to concert photography specifically? Were you going to a lot of concerts, or were you just music is the best?
I was definitely going to a lot of concerts. I was working a job where I had a good amount of hours at work, so the best way that I could find an actual break and not work is to go to a concert because you can't sit at a concert and just email people. You can do it. I don't recommend it, but it was a great moment to not be working and just to be present and in the moment and then living my best life. So I really think that I want to say the Made in America Festival in 2017 that solidified my desire to be involved in music. The different sets and the different performers was great, but I think when Jay-Z came out and I was able to see the camera crew and how there was literally a camera over my head. I think it's called I want to say it's the fly cam, but seeing that and seeing how people operated that, it just blew my mind because a week after I got back from the festival, it was on Tidal, and I was I saw that camera. I knew where they were because I was right underneath it to the right side. I was there. So just seeing all of that and just seeing the people also who operated those cameras, I was I could do that. Yeah. Or at least I could figure it out. I don't want to operate fly cams, but cameras are working pretty good for me right now.
Nice. So do you do just still photography or video or both?
Still photography. I'm getting into video because of just passion projects. Okay. So I'm learning video, but I'm not a videographer.
Yeah. What's the like hardest challenge about getting into like video? Because I hear from, okay, I'll caveat this with, I started doing still photography and then getting into video because I was like,
No
oh,
way.
this is super interesting, and I love having like short little video clips, and it seems like more bands and stuff are looking for video.
Yeah.
But it's definitely hard and definitely different than still photography. So have you had any like struggles or concerns with video, or are you just like moving along, just trying to learn it as it comes to you?
I definitely think learning it as it comes to me, I have exactly what you're saying. I've noticed that a lot of bands are hiring videographers in place of photographers because with a video, if everything is like captured correctly, you can pull a still from a video, but you can't pull a video from a still. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1, and I noticed that at a couple of like pits that I've been in with videographers that I've like just met. And then so like the Alive coverage people, I met one of their members during a Wale show, and I was just like, this guy's a videographer, but he is so good at it. Like, his name is Transition Ninja on Instagram, and he is like fire. But he was able to pull stills from his video, and I was like, man, I need to start practicing that. So I think like right now I'm just trying to master like videos in the daytime.
Yeah.
And then work my way up to videos at nighttime.
Yeah.
But there aren't any festivals for a minute, so I have time.
Yeah, we got all the time to practice during
Oh my
God. So actually, let's talk about that too, because we're like right in the middle of the whole COVID thing, and
oh my God.
I know that like for me it's pretty much shut everything down, but I'm in LA, so like what has it been like for you? How have you been kind of like, I don't know, practicing your skill set, keeping things updated? Like what have you been doing during all of this?
So I work in marketing on the side also. That's literally been my saving grace the entire time. Yeah. Because luckily we're able to find things to do. But in terms of photography, like there's a skateboard park that opened up down the street from my house. So
cool.
When there are moments that I can like go over there, I'm trying to go because it's a good way for me to capture people in motion and moving people.
Yeah.
And so if it's that, or if it's just calling my friends over and having like a quote unquote dance party, but it's really Kaeyla's trying to photograph you so that she can make sure that her images are still sharp. And then just learning how to play around with light differently in different situations. So that's literally what I've been doing to try to keep my portfolio updated, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is so tough because this year I definitely knew that like, okay, I was gonna go to this festival and this festival. Like I knew for sure that there would be 2 festivals in Memphis that like I would be able to get publication credits for to photograph. And so there are no pub passes, there's no festival.
Yeah.
So it's very, very interesting. It's definitely the one thing that I will say is that it's made me work on creating connections with people more. Like I always randomly reach out to people on LinkedIn, but now they're really responding because they're at their computers just like I am.
Yeah. Regarding, like, you were just talking a little bit about like festivals and stuff and mentioning publications. Do you work with a few publications right now, or do you mostly like shoot for yourself, or like how do you get into shows, if there were shows right now?
If there were shows, it would depend on the show. So there is one company in Memphis that I kind of work with as far as publication wise. But then I've also built, like, I just talk to people. So I have randomly built connections with people who happen to be promoters at clubs or promoters over like entire tours.
That's so good.
I've randomly gotten like a message on Facebook where, so I guess funny story. So there was the Wale tour that was happening, and it's called Wow That's Crazy. And so they came to Memphis. I essentially was like, oh man, I want to photograph this. So I did the traditional route. I reached out to the publicist, reached out to the publicist multiple times. I didn't get a response. I didn't expect a response really, but it would have been nice. So from there, I went and called the box office. I happened to call the box office at the event, at the location, what's it called? At Minglewood Hall. And so the guy that answers the phone happens to be the same guy that manages Growlers, another location.
Oh, nice.
And so I had managed to get through to the actual promoter of the southern region, which was Bo O'Brien. So It was like, but he was working with Mark at Growlers, the Memphis people. And so when I called Minglewood, I was like, Mark, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm working. I was like, okay, well, I'm just calling to see if I was approved for a pass. He's like, oh, were you? Yeah, go ahead. I was like, what? But It's just like the weirdest Memphis isn't a small town, but it was one of those small town moments where a previous relationship that I had with someone who happened to be at a different venue carried over into another venue. And so that night I also learned a little bit about just touring in terms of merchandise and how does it typically work when people come by after the show to buy merchandise. Like, I'm a fan, so I've definitely bought merch before, but just hearing about the way that he explained it and stuff that goes into it, I was like, I never thought there would be these deep logistics for some shirts, some CDs, some wristbands, and backpacks. But it makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, promotion, networking with the promoters has definitely helped me in terms of shows and getting in. And then an actual publication. But I'd say, if possible, reaching out to multiple publications and just seeing who bites. And then if no one actually bites, I stalk people on LinkedIn. Yeah. I heavily stalk people on LinkedIn to the point where it'll say, Kaeyla Willis has viewed your profile. And then 30 minutes later, they'll come back and view my profile. And then I follow them. And then they follow me back. And so then I actually send a conversation. Nice. Say, hey, I saw that you work here. We should be friends. And I'm interested in this. And then they respond.
I have not thought of using LinkedIn as a way to communicate with people for, like, concert photography stuff. But I guess that makes sense.
I'm telling you, LinkedIn is how, when I was trying to get into the Memphis Festival, I looked up the staff. And I couldn't find information on Google, so then I went to LinkedIn. And, of course, they're like, ticket coordinator at Memphis, logistics at Memphis, whatever at Memphis. So then I found one of the communications people, and then I reached out to him. And I was just like, hey, I'm passionate about photography. I'm pretty good. Here's my link.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have any needs, blah, blah, blah. And then he reached back out and gave me his email address. And then we continued conversation from there. And then when October came, I had already bought a VIP pass anyways because I knew I just had a lot of faith in the festival.
Yeah.
But then when October came, I was at Memphis with a VIP pass and a photo pit pass.
Nice.
LinkedIn is definitely a friend.
Networking definitely pays off. And that's something that we talk about a lot on this podcast is, like, definitely, like, get out of your comfort zone and talk to people. But for, like, all the shy people listening and fellow introverts, like, I guess LinkedIn is, like, a perfect way of communicating because you're behind that, like, internet wall.
Exactly.
You know?
LinkedIn is your cousin. Instagram is how you find people also, but if they're on LinkedIn, you can see when they've commented on things. You can tell who's active on their LinkedIn. And a lot of times I've noticed it's the higher decision-making people who seem to be active on LinkedIn. Yeah,
totally.
So, get your next job on LinkedIn. Sorry,
Not
I don't have a
sponsored.
discount. Sorry, I don't have a discount code for you.
How funny. So you talked a little bit about the like Memphis music industry so far. Can we dig into that more, because I'm always curious about like different cities and their music industry. So like, is it like super like small town, tight knit by you, or is it like a lot of new people coming and going all the time? Is it like younger people? Like what's kind of like the demographic of the music industry, especially when it comes to concert photographers?
It's really demographics of concert photographers or the demographics of the actual concerts?
Doesn't matter. Both. Either.
Okay. So for the concerts, I would definitely say there's a mixture of both. There are so many talented people in this city. So you might go on Beale Street and hear a band perform, but then you might go to a different club that's downtown and hear a different band. Like, it's so many different scattered sounds, but it's all kind of, there's an overlapping like soul feel to all of it.
Nice.
But at the same time, like, we have like a lot of rap artists that are coming out, a lot of indie artists. And when I say indie, I mean like not necessarily alternative rock, but is Apple classifies pop music, they classify it as alternative. I've noticed that recently. So a lot of alternative pop, kind of sort of lo-fi. We've got DJs that do like not only rap music but also some EDM mixes, house mixes. So I've really seen a mixture of some of everything. Oh, and then we have like blues, like actual blues singers, and they typically are on Beale Street. But anywhere else throughout the city, you can hear so many different types of sounds. It really boils down to what type of sound you're looking for, because I'm pretty sure there's someone who plays it.
Yeah.
And then in terms of photographers, so I've noticed that like the concert photographers here, I've seen maybe a few that are older, not many. A lot are younger, but the thing, I want to say that one of the biggest things for us is our festivals. Okay. So when I've seen like at the Wale show, there was me and there was a guy named Adaryl. So Adaryl and I have shot Beale Street Music Fest together. Memphis, we've shot a 3-6 Mafia show. We've shot Wale together. So Adaryl is kind of becoming my concert buddy at this point. Nice. Because I just see him at all of the shows. But then there are other people like we have Austin Anderson, who does some of the bigger festivals. So the Beale Street Music Fest and the Memphis Festival are like our two bigger music festivals. Okay. And so that's typically when I see Austin, or like Michael Butler _ at 1901. I probably butchered his Instagram handle, but y'all can find him there. But yeah, so it's definitely a mix. In terms of like women in the pit, I've only seen like maybe 3 or 4, but I tend to see more women when it comes to the actual festivals. So not as like shows. Yeah. So like at PJ Morton, which was at Minglewood also, it was just me and then PJ Morton's team. And then when it came to Earth Gang, Growlers got me in with the photo pass for the first artist, but it was like myself. And then like Earth Gang has their own team. So after like the first opening artist, it's like, okay, great seeing y'all. Yeah. Gotta go. Yeah. But and it was also a much smaller venue. So in terms of a photo pit, there wasn't much of a photo pit per se. But yeah.
Interesting.
I know. It's very, very weird. But I think that honestly, music photography, when I've been to other festivals, I haven't seen just like a ton of women, except the Anderson .Paak show that I went to in Nashville. Oh my God. I saw like 4 women in the pit and there were like 8 people there. I was like, what? It was definitely an eye-opener. Yeah. But I would definitely say Nashville probably had more women live music photographers.
Yeah.
but Memphis doesn't.
I've been in a lot of pits that were, at least in LA, were all men. And then I've been in, like, I was in a pit once that was, like, 12 women at, like, a big name band. And I was like, this is so exciting. And I was just, like, so hyped because it was just all of these great women photographers. But I just find it funny because it definitely varies per city. And I feel like in LA, there's a lot of younger people, but there's definitely a lot of older people. So when you're in, like, any sort of festival, any pit, really, I feel like most of the people photographing it are older. So that's why I like to ask is, like, the dynamics change across. I think also, like, the kind of music has an impact, but the city definitely has an impact.
I definitely think so. And I also think that more so in Memphis when it comes to concerts, like, I've noticed that it's publication driven. So, like, my friend Ariel, she works for a publication, like, full-time photographer. So when I know that there's a bigger event coming up, I text her, I'm like, hey, are you going to this festival today? She's like, yeah, I'll be there. So then I see, like, another black girl, and then, like, her hair is bigger than mine. So I'm like, hey, Ariel.
I love that. So I ask this question every interview, and this is one thing that I, like, always love bringing up, and we're kind of touching on it because I started doing these interviews to kind of, like, highlight women and talk about, like, women working in the industry and, like, issues that we've faced. So, like, I just want to talk a little bit about, like, if you've experienced any sort of prejudices from working in the industry, and that can be anything from sexism, ageism, racism, really anything. Because I just, like, really want to bring light to these issues and, like, talk about people's experiences. So have you experienced anything bad? And, like, you know, like, what impact, I guess, has that had on you as, like, a photographer working in the music industry?
So I have been very, very, very fortunate because, like, I haven't had any incidents, I haven't had anything, like, just, I guess, overt happen to me. Like, I can't even think of anything covert except the fact that I noticed that there are a lot of white guys that are in the photo pits, and there's a lack of women and a lack of women of color, and then even, like, a lack of black women in the photo pit. But besides that, like, I'm not gonna say I've always had good experiences, because sometimes, like, security will be jerks completely. Yeah. But even besides, like, a rude security guard, I've met, like, a lot of other really nice security guys who are like, are you coming? Yeah. So, like, when they'll see me coming with the camera, they're like, hey, are you coming in here? Okay, cool. And just, like, very, very open and welcoming. But I will definitely say that I've been super fortunate because I've heard from other women in a Facebook group that I'm in, and they have not had the same experience. And so, yeah, definitely fortunate for that.
I'm really happy to hear that because, like, sometimes it gets, like, really sad for me asking this question because people talk about, you know, really, and just, I don't know how else to say it. Heavy and sad, yeah.
Exactly, heavy and deep stuff, and it's just that I've always wondered, like, if I were in a situation that is similar to the ones that I've read, where, like, security grabs you, lifts you up, and throws you out because of no fault to your own, but just because, like, you were there, but yet the guys are still there. Like, I've read incidents about that. I'm just like, how would I even respond? Yeah. And that's one thing that I still don't have an answer for yet.
So it's definitely, like, a heavy subject, but, like, it's also interesting because I want to kind of paint the picture of what it's like in different cities and how, like, different people have different experiences. And it's it's just going to be different. So, like, that's why I want to bring up everyone's kind of personal story and talk about it, because I don't want people to get started in the music industry and then, like, face something that they absolutely hate and, like, want to back out of it. It's like, it you know, every job kind of sucks, but, like, it's definitely different per person, per location, you know, all of that. So I'm actually really, really happy to hear that you haven't faced anything bad. That makes me good way to start my week, hearing something positive.
Happy Monday.
I love it. Okay, so let's jump back to a question that this question is just very interesting to me, because I think that everyone's answer is totally different. And that's, what is success to you when it comes to, like, your music photography career? Like, what would success look like? Have you achieved it yet? Like, let's talk about, like, what your goals are and, like, what you want to do.
So, success in music photography, definitely not there yet, but at least not where I want to be. Okay. But I think that because, like, I have a marketing background, but such a deep love of, like, photography and music and just bringing experiences to people. Yeah. I think that they're, like, of course, there are, like, venues and festivals, different artists that, like, I have on my list that I want to capture. But I think that ultimately success for me in music photography would be getting to an ultimate space of where, like, I'm in a position to hire and select other photographers. So be it, like, a photo editor or a festival director or a venue owner. Like, I saw the internet in 2018, and I was amazed because there was a guy who was working the security line in the parking lot, and he was hilarious. But then my friend got us VIP tickets, so we were up in the balcony, and I saw the same guy from the parking lot. And I told him, I said, "Sir, aren't you supposed to be working security?" Like, just joking with him. And then he goes, this is my place. I run everything. And I was like, what? Like, that is possible at a young age? Because he definitely was nowhere near, like, he was maybe like 34, 35. Nice. And so being in a venue and having the ability to bring those events to people and make other people happy and to put other people on, like, I definitely think that that's where I would want my music photography career to go.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, so I love doing these questions too. So let's get into some quick fire questions and just, like, talk a little bit more about photography specifically. So are you a Nikon, Canon, Sony, or other shooter right now?
I'm a Canon girl.
Rude. I'm a
Are
Nikon
you a Nikon?
Yeah. There's, like, such a dramatic fight between all of the camera bodies, it seems.
Dude, Sony is looking kind of nice right now.
Yeah. Nikon just came out with another camera that's like a mirrorless, and I've been staring at it, and I'm like, I have no reason to buy it because we're in quarantine. I can't even go shoot anything. My God. And I'm like, I want to buy it.
I literally had to stop myself from getting, so Canon released, like, the R5 and R6. One of those just got released. The other one was already released. But I saw a lot of people saying, oh, we're going to get this camera. We're going to get this one. And then Sony came out, like, 2 weeks later saying, like, we're going to have an announcement on this date. Yeah. So, like, the people that I saw saying they wanted Canon, they're like, nope, never mind.
Waiting.
Changed my mind. Yeah. So I'm like, might be kind of interesting in Sony world.
Yeah. No, I think that there's something appealing about all the other brands that everyone's like, what if? Like, what if I had that other camera? Would my images be sharper? Would they be better? Like, yeah. But, yeah, there's always that fear of missing out, pretty much. Okay, so can you describe your photography style in 3 words?
So I've been thinking about this. I came up with light, natural, and then the last one I couldn't find a synonym for it, but it was just, like, in the moment. So nice. I just wrote, like, fluid, because technically photography is supposed to capture a moment when it's happening, so it's kind of redundant, but
Got
Those
it.
are the words that I came up with.
Nice. That one always, like, stumps people. They're always like, yeah, I have
Yes.
to think about this one.
Literally, there are so many posts in these Facebook groups that I'm in. They're like, hey guys, here are 5 photos. Can you figure out my style? Or then it's like, hey guys, I don't know if this is airy or this is contrasting.
Oh,
what do
yeah.
you think? And I'm just like, man,
Dark and moody and
Yes,
light and airy are, like, the 2 buzz terms.
If I literally took a shot for every time I saw the word moody come up on this one thread, like, I wouldn't have made this call, because I was just like, is everyone moody and contrasty right now? Which, by the way, like, I've been having a blast with the hue slider, so I've been playing a lot on the blue/coral spectrum.
Nice.
So I don't know if that's a style. I don't know how to incorporate that, but that's another one.
I think that, like, experimenting with editing just in general, like, literally playing around with the different sliders
Yes.
on Lightroom is such a big, like, learning tool. Like, you can learn so much from literally just playing around with it, because like, I get bored watching, like, tutorials, and I'm like, I feel like I know a lot, but then I'll go into Lightroom and be like, what does this do? And then just incorporate that into my editing.
Go back and edit a photo from like 2 or 3 years ago, and I promise you will be shook. Like, I did that, and I was just like, why did I think that it was a good idea to I dehazed everything.
Oh, yeah.
Every single image I dehazed, and I'm like, the exposure was fine. The entire photo was fine. There was no need to dehaze it. Like, it's completely fine.
How funny. Okay, what's your favorite show that you've ever photographed?
So it's between the Revivalist at Memphis, the festival, or Block Boy JB at Beale Street Music Festival.
Very cool.
Last year was a good year.
Festival shows are always incredible, too.
We just don't get as much production. That's the only thing, like, in terms of, like, the staging. Like, the lighting will be okay, but since it's not, like, a closed venue, the lighting, I assume that, like, the lighting designers, like, they probably like the closed concerts that are, like, the regular touring schedules more than they do festivals, because, like, there's so much space for them to just go wild. Whereas, like, festivals, just like, all right, you're gonna see, here are 3 performances back to back with either orange, purple, pink, maybe some red. Oh my god, please no red, but these are the lights that you get.
How funny. Do you have any bucket list shows? I don't know why I messed this question up. I think every time I ask it. Bucket list shows.
I would say Made in America. I really like Umi. Cool. She's a really cool singer. And then Moonchild. So they were on tour with Jill Scott this year. They were on tour with the internet in 2018, and so I met them this year, and I told them, hey guys, I saw you at the internet in 2018. I'll see you guys in a few years on tour, because I'll be your photographer.
I love that.
I figured, what else can they say besides laugh it off? Like, what did you do?
What else do you say? That's so funny.
So definitely them.
Very cool. And then photographers that you admire.
Live music only? Or just, like, in general?
You know what? No, you can open it up to anyone.
So I say Tamaya Colvin, because of she's very educational, and also she's a photographer, so she combines those realms of teaching other people and, like, pulling other people, but also, like, pulling herself up. I say Greg Noir for live music. Like, he's great.
Oh, yeah.
Love his work. I say Alberto Gonzalez for, like, branded things, because, like, he can make a Fendi purse look nice. And I don't even really like Fendi, but his images just make me really, like, go on their website and say, hey, maybe I'm missing out.
Nice.
And then I look at the price tag and I'm like, that's a $7,200. I was like, that's my $2,470, or I could get a $7,200 or something else, but no, don't need it.
Yeah, the photographers that can, like, turn anything into incredible,
oh my god,
just, like, pieces of art, like, they inspire me, even if it's like not the kind of photography that I do. So I totally get that.
I'm gonna butcher her name, but Alexandra, I think it's like Gaviet. It's like Gavillet. She does like music, but it's very portraity, but her colors are literally so bright. Like paint type of colors. And I just wonder, I'm like, when I hear the phrase like paint with your camera, paint, I'm like, okay. But she does it. It's really, her work is amazing.
Very cool. Okay, so this is my last question for you. Yeah, bummer. Whenever I get to this, I'm always like, this is a bummer because I'm wrapping it up. But, like, this is probably the most important question of the whole interview chat. Is just, like, what is the best piece of advice that you've received, or a piece of advice that you want to pass on to those starting out or in the music industry?
Being a nice person will get you far.
I love that.
Someone told me that, and they were like, as long as you remain a nice person, don't compromise your morals and things like that, but just be a nice person that people like being around, and it'll get you in spaces. Yeah.
I think that 2 or 3 other people have also said something similar. Yeah. There's one, I think the first one was just like so blunt. She was like, don't be a dick. And I was like, yeah, that'll help. Yeah. But like, I totally get it, because I mean, we were talking earlier about networking, and like, it's all about who you know, and just being kind to people like creates those relationships. And if you're nice, it'll bring you places, really.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten into a festival with my camera just by being nice to the people at the door.
That is awesome.
Not saying that everyone should go this way, because honestly, publications pay you. That's a great route to go.
Well, very cool. What an awesome way to end it. Just go to a show, guys. See if you can get in by being nice. You know, absolutely. Life hack, and try it out for me. Tell me how it goes. Okay, so before we sign off, can you shout out where people can find your work and find you on social media?
So on social media, it's KAEYLA.W, so Kaeyla.W. And then on the internet, you can find me at caughtbykate.com. So it's K's instead of C. So it's KAUGHT by BYKAETE.com.
Awesome.
Was going through her face.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Everyone that's listening, please go check out Kaeyla's work, because I got lost in her website. It is so good. So please go check her out. Go give her a like and a follow on Instagram and all of that good stuff. And thank you so much, Kaeyla, for joining me. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks.
Thanks for having me. I'm gonna go take a nap.